Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today it is time for me to do my first Project Pan of 2020 update. I managed to use up a couple of products, some good progress on some other products, and then I'm actually going to bring in a few new items. So let's go ahead and kick it off with the items that I have used up. So the first thing that I have is the go-to setting spray that I've been using, which is the Bath & Body Works Rose Water Face and Body Refresher from the Pure Simplicity line. I was here at the last update and I have managed to work through this. This setting spray, not only did it smell lovely, but it really helped open my eyes up to the benefits of using more of a hydrating setting spray for this time of year. I felt like it really brought some life back to my face during these drier months, so I was really happy with this. I don't think that I would buy this again from Bath & Body Works, but I'm definitely now more thoughtful and open-minded to purchasing more of a hydrating type of setting spray in the future. Second thing that I have is my primer. I was working on the Professional Pore Primer from Benefit. I was about here at the last update, and like I predicted, I didn't have a ton of this left. I had to do a lot of squeezing and working the packaging to get all of it out, but I feel confident that I did just that. I will be surprised if I don't repurchase this at some point this year. Like if this goes on sale during an Ulta 21 Days of Beauty or something like that, I would probably snag one of them then, because I have been finding that a lot of the other primers in my collection that maybe claim to be pore filling aren't as effective as this, and this does make a difference on how much foundation sinks into the pores, especially around my nose area, so I definitely think highly of this product. Final item that I finished off is my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in 102, which is Fair Porcelain. I don't know where my mark on this was, because I somehow washed it away with my hands. I'm not really sure, but this packaging is irksome. First off, it's square, which meant that I kept getting foundation stuck in the corners. The second problem was, as you can see, because there's no pump, it's quite messy. I was getting product everywhere, and when I got down to having essentially nothing left inside here, I would try to tilt it upside down to get the product down, but then it would get all stuck up in the cap. It was a lot. I ended up using my beauty spatula to get product out for I think about 5 or 6 applications, and then I called it a quits. I do like this foundation. I like its coverage. It is matte, but I don't think it's Sahara Desert matte. I think it's appropriate, and I think if you have oily skin, you'd really like this, but I'm really hoping that they've changed the package since I purchased this bottle, or that they will change the packaging, because I don't see myself buying it again with it being like this. Okay, now we can talk about the 2 powder products that I am still trucking along on. The first is my Balm Desert from The Balm. As I sort of foreshadowed in my finale of 2019, I ended up repressing this. I just wasn't able to get any more product without chipping away and getting sort of crumbs, which I didn't want to do. And I gotta tell you, I had a lot more product left than I thought. This is where we currently stand. Now, granted, I really pressed down there, so I don't really have a thick layer here, but I still have a layer. I no longer have pan showing, so I'm really motivated to keep plugging away on this. This is a beautiful bronzer, and I do like it. I'm not necessarily in a rush to use it because I don't like it. I'm in a rush to use it because I want to figure out the rest of my bronzer collection and see what's worth keeping and what's not. And I just am such a creature of habit that I won't allow myself to do that until this is gone. And I also like that I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry if it's too dark, if it won't blend. I know this stuff's gonna work every single time, which is why I'm prone to want to pull it out anytime I put makeup on. So we'll see how many more months this puppy is gonna hang around. Second powder product that I have is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Opal. You guys have seen the disaster that is the repressing of this. I feel like I've made progress. It's kind of weird because I've been trying to center my brush in the middle. When I was first trying to focus on the outer edges, I was noticing it starting to crumble. I'm gonna be honest, I think this is going to be very hard to pan completely. I think at some point I'm gonna have to keep repressing it where it's not even worth it anymore. But We're not quite there yet. I do really enjoy this and I constantly come back to it. So I will keep working on it at my own rate and maybe we'll see if it gets used up. I also have my Milani eyeshadow primer. Not a ton of progress here. I've just moved it a little bit. Again, I'm being somewhat more conservative or conscientious because so many of you have told me that you don't need very much of this. I think this is a lovely eyeshadow primer and I totally understand its cult following. I am very pleased and loving it every time I use it. I'm also happy to report that I am finally making progress on my Too Cool for School Gel Mist. I came across this in my collection. I have no idea how I hadn't noticed this months earlier, but this is my starting point. I essentially decanted everything out of my little MAC Fix Plus travel because that thing was clogged. As a reminder, this thing was clogged to no avail, and I'm praying that this does not get clogged before I use the remaining product in here. This stuff is magical and lovely, and I do really love it because it is truly, like it says, a gel. It feels like I am spraying glue to my face. Probably does not sound the most appealing or pleasant, but case in point, it is currently 5:30. I've had my makeup on since 5:15 in the morning, and I feel like I'm looking pretty good. If I don't look pretty good to you, please don't say anything. I can't take that kind of pressure, but I think my face looks pretty well retained. Again, I didn't work out. I just came home from school and started to do some filming. I think with other setting sprays, I wouldn't have all of this still intact. So I love this stuff. I'm not sure I'll purchase it because I have had many a pump get clogged, but in the meantime, she's great. I'm glad she's back in my life. Next up, I have the two concealers that I have been working with in tandem, mixing them together. Since the last update, I have taken the stopper out of this product, and this is basically where I am at. I really don't have a lot left in here. It's more that I've got a bunch globbed onto the doe foot applicator, and I'm just taking a small amount of it to mix with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, which I'm surprised I seem to have made really healthy progress on simply by mixing it. I am about here when I take the doe foot applicator out. I think it's really interesting because the doe foot applicator doesn't seem to collect a ton of product, so I would be curious to know how long it would take me to use this up if I was using this and this alone every single day. I'm not sure I'll hold on to this color once I'm done with the ColourPop one because I certainly don't want to buy another one of these to keep mixing with this. And this is way, way, way too light. If you can tell, it's way too light for my face. I have no idea what kind of color I would be, and I'm kind of weary to make another purchase online for any of these colors because I don't want to be wasteful, and I already purchased two. That didn't work for me, so we'll see. But for now, this is where we're at. Another combo of items, I have the lip products that I have been working on. I'm really happy with my Buxom Full-On Lip Polish in Sandy. I've got some super progress happening here. I definitely think that I am getting closer to needing to take the stopper out, which will allow me to get every last drop of gloss out of this, which is magical. I think this gloss formula is great, and I would not have ordinarily pulled a color like this to apply, but I think it's the perfect pairing with this L'Oreal lipstick. It's my L'Oreal Color Riche in Fairest Nude. Also have some healthy progress to report. Do you see this? This is all I have. Look at this little nub. That's it. I think this is great. I think this is fabulous. I am fingers crossed hoping to finish this off by the next update, and then I will have, I think, only one, maybe two other lipstick type products like this. I definitely haven't been converted to wanting to use lipstick, but I definitely have enjoyed getting full use out of this, and it has very much opened my eyes to all the potential that is nude lips. I also have some healthy progress to report on my Benefit What's Up. As I mentioned back at the end of 2019, this wasn't getting as much love or usage in my current everyday eyeshadow routine because I was using a lot of really pigmented eyeshadows that didn't need any kind of base. But now that I'm back to using my Cargo for the 2020 year, I've been finding that this definitely helps the whole eyeshadow adhere better. So I have made some nice progress. This is what it looks like. And then you can see on the cap that I made pretty standard progress compared to other months where I am trying to use it consistently. Final item that I have been making progress on but haven't finished up is this ever so neglected Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Crayon. I never thought it would make that big of a difference, but there is no black in any of the palettes that I am trying to pan for 2020. So I have been a whole lot less prone to pulling this out. I tried to tell myself that I was going to use this starting on the weekends, but I just haven't done that yet. I was really noticing I was on the tail end of a bunch of liquid or felt tip liners. So I went ahead and finished those off first, but I am now going to come back to this. I don't have any progress on this. You can see where the black line is as much as you can tell with the silver packaging. I do have a little bit of this left, but I definitely think that by bringing it in and using it on the weekends, I could probably get it finished off, no big deal. And then after this, I think it's going to take me a really long time before I'm willing to come back to my pencil liners. I really just want to spend more time using up the surplus of felt tip and liquid liners that I have. I definitely kicked off 2020 in a good path, and I want to continue that with that category. With all of this said and done, I decided to bring in 4 items to my project pan, so I'm going to go ahead and share them with you. The first one that I grabbed that I wanted to bring in is my current go-to foundation. It's the CoverGirl Outlast Active 24-Hour Oxidate Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 20 in 800, which is Fair Ivory. So I only had, after finishing up the Maybelline one, I think it was like 2.5 because I have like a sample of a foundation in my collection. And unfortunately, both of the 2 that I have remaining are too dark. I think they will be decent matches for me in the summer where my skin is like a half of shade less pale than it currently is. So I definitely wanted to save those for the summertime and not waste time right now mixing. And on top of that, I was also in a dire situation because I was away for the weekend at a recruitment event for my sorority, and I noticed in natural light how off my face and my neck was. So I immediately like jogged into a Target and I came across this, which they were clearancing out. And I tend to find that I do like the color matching of Fair Ivory in the CoverGirl line. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this stuff is great. I think this stuff lasts really well. I think it is nice coverage. It is by no means full coverage. This airs more on like the coverage of like a BB cream in my opinion, where it more just provides like an even like tone or layer over your face and evens your complexion out, but it's not going to hide all of your blemishes and things like that. So I think it's lovely for my needs. I think that is a nice foundation. I don't know why they're clearancing it out. Probably not a good sign, but for now I will use this. I'd say about halfway on this particular product, so we'll see what another month of everyday usage will do to this. Also wanted to bring in another primer. I've decided to go for another full-size primer. I at first thought I would go with more of my travel size or deluxe size samples, but the reality is there is more value in getting my full-size ones used up. So I'm pulling in this number 7 Skin Illuminator, Natural Looking Radiance for Beautiful Glow. I am to this point. This is not too shimmery. I have it on right now underneath my foundation. I think it just, in this type of climate, helps make my skin look a bit more alive without looking too dewy or sweaty or anything like that. So it's a nice balance and I'm definitely enjoying using it. I'll be curious to see how long it takes to finish off. Then the next product that I have is a product that I have been low-key trying to pan for probably years. This is one of the first blushes I ever purchased, so it is quite old. It is my Benefit Rockateur blush. I have had this since Rockateur came out. Like when this was launched, I fell in love with it. I thought it was such a beautiful color, and for the first few years, I really only used it in the winter. I kind of thought like it was really just a nice winter blush, but then I'd say the last like 2 years, I have been obsessed with using it all the time. Like it's just an easy go-to blush. Anytime I have any kind of neutral eye or like pink kind of eye, this is the blush I get. I am bummed to discover, because I do have some pan on this, that the pan in the bottom is not metallic or shiny. It's just plastic, so it's kind of lackluster. It's not as satisfying as if I had shiny pan, but I really want this to be the year that I use this up. If you look inside, you can see that I have pretty good pan showing at the very center, but basically around the edges, it's almost brand new. Like, almost brand new. So I really want to make a concerted effort and track month to month what my progress looks like, because even though I don't wear this blush every single day, I probably wear it easily 4 days out of every single week that I apply makeup. So I really want to know if I can use this up. I will also admit that if I don't get it used up this year, it's probably time for me to throw this out and repurchase, because like I said, I've had this since it first launched and I don't even know how long ago that is, but I love this blush. I will always come back to it. Curious to see if I can use it up. Final product that I'm bringing in is my current Vanity chapstick. I really enjoyed but didn't enjoy using up my last potted lip balm that I had on my Vanity, and for whatever reason I immediately wanted to pull out the next biggest thing that I had in that collection. That was the Physicians Formula Marumu Butter Lip Sleeping Mask. Oh yeah, this thing is big. This is where I am starting. I essentially, as gross as this is gonna sound, pushed my finger into the middle to try to press product onto the sides, because I was having a really hard time like getting my finger down in the center, because there was a pretty big gap between where they like put the product into the pot and how high up that was. So that is what I've been doing. I've basically just been pulling from the side and applying it. This stuff is nice. Do I think it is better or equal to the Laneige lip sleeping mask? Nah, girl, I don't. But it does the job. It definitely, feels like a mixture of the Bite Agave, texture-wise, the Bite Agave, and then also the Laneige lip sleeping mask, but it's not as long-lasting. And the scent isn't my favorite. It kind of smells like old papayas, which is a very strange description. But I don't love the scent. So I'm trying to use this up mostly because it's not my favorite, but it is the biggest lip balm product that I currently have. And I feel like if I can get through this in 1 year, my lip balm collection is going to be looking real small and real easy to work through. So we'll see month to month where we go with this. Okay guys, that is it for me and this update. Some good usage, some good progress, and some new items to keep track of. I hope that you enjoyed seeing my update. I really appreciate you spending some of your day with me. It means a lot that there are people out there who want to cheer me on and enjoy in the project panning world the way I do. So keep sending me those good vibes in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next video real soon. Bye.